degree. I think for RSG, they need to identify the key targets they need to get down here. One being Jill on this Benedetta. When the Benedetta gets the farm in, she's going to be a nuisance to deal with. That's when they will start to split push. So they need to storm Jill. They need to make sure that she doesn't pop off, especially towards the late game where she will just constantly cut your waves.
And for now, we're just going to be looking at force injection as well as an unstoppable force coming from JPL, landing right on top of Baby Cake. Was hoping that he will be able to receive a little bit more health with his lethal counter, but unfortunately just a few frames too late.
Yeah, the execute just bam.
Yeah, just kapow him right in the face, like a little bit more of a sucker punch to him.
And yeah, it looks like Evos will eventually get the first tower of the game. And now RSG being on the back foot, that will be a bit worrying because now the Benedetta can look to really roam around the map. And once the Benedetta starts to roam, RSG is constantly going to be a man down in terms of teamfight.
Adamir taking a lot of damage, finding himself right under the turret's nose, but it's okay because LY4 in the end went for Ogi Shadow Kill. Didn't really quite do a lot, to be honest, but in the end he'll still go down. I would believe that most damage would probably come from Potato, but I think that they all have really fair share of damage.
Yeah, that was actually a really good job by JPL. He was being targeted by Daytona's Welcome, uses the Unstoppable Force, and because of that, it just gets cancelled. The Daytona's Welcome gets cancelled, and that's a big ultimate of RSG. Even still then, even if he did manage to get not cancelled and he did manage to swallow up JPL, it wouldn't be able to kill anyone there because there is the backup of the rest of Evos to finish up the fight.
We will definitely see a lot of that. If Jason continues to use the Detona's Welcome onto JPL, they wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. What's a prime target for Jason to use the Detona's Welcome on?
Well, one of them being Sayla. Sayla is a hero that he needs to take out the fight. Once again, similar to how Sayla was playing on the Eve, he's constantly at the back. He's got a good nuke in terms of AoE control on the Eve this time around onto the Eudora. His job is just to blow up either 505 on the Lunox or LY4 on the Hayabusa. And this is very concerning because if they get to snowball out of control, RSG might not even be able to see LY4 pop off. Yes, the Hayabusa is really good late game, but we know that Hayabusa is weak early. And this is what Evos is capitalizing on. They're capitalizing the LY4 on time, and they're not going to give it over onto their arch nemesis.
Having a 3 mage comp from the side of Evos, not exactly mage, right? It's more accurately to be said that there are 3 heroes from the side of Evos that deals magical damage. So the chances of RSG members picking up more magical resist is a lot higher, and thus making sure that, in some sense, making Potato, Adamir, and Sayla's damage going down lower than normal, and thus boosting the chances that Gear is able to deal a lot more damage all across the board. So maybe Gear would be the unsung hero of this game.
Yeah, a little bit of a wasted opportunity there for Baby Cake. He nearly got him the lethal counter, just slightly out of range. And look at that, on the other side of the map, they are getting value out of it. They managed to find 505, and I'm pretty sure if Lozi doesn't have the support for RSG very soon, that is going to be a dead Sylvana.
With Adamir bringing himself up to the top lane. Unfortunately, Imperial Justice lands on top of Sayla, but he is all alone with no follow-up. Adamir was able to bring him right back to where he came from. After bringing down the first defense turret, they're just going to be moving on to Baby Cakes and bring him down very effectively as Potato takes another one from this cake.
Well, Evos, it feels like you're taking a sweet away, or rather candy away from the kids, because RSG at this point, they feel gassed out. They feel like, I feel like they've run out of ideas, and Evos are just relentless. Look at that, they're constantly running at the members of RSG, walking into the jungle now that the tier 1s are down, and they're just using Sayla as this powerhouse nuke to just blow up that front line. We saw Lozi actually try to make a play there, but he's nowhere near tanky enough to actually soak up not only damage from the Eudora, as well as Potato. And don't forget, they also have the execute from Gear when the team fight starts to really get nasty.
The number of candies in RSG's basket is going down, to the point that we may be able to see the closure of the candy shop right now as Jason activates Detona's Welcome, soloing up onto Salem, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem. It is more of a last-ditch effort coming from him, and with a sliver of health, he should no problem get himself away, as we do have Adamir that successfully lands off with his falling Star Moon down on to Jason, effectively resetting all of his charges, and thus the frontliners of RSG needs to take time before he's back in commission.
Well, they don't really have a frontliner at this point, right? Lozi's gonna get caught out of position. Oh my goodness, a lightning rod immediately blows him up. And there is absolutely nothing that RSG have in terms of a response. Evil's just running riot. And you gotta feel for RSG. It feels like this is ultimate disrespect from Evos, or should I say respect, in making sure that they don't give RSG back in the way. They know that RSG at the end of the day is still a very formidable team, and Evos do not want to make any mistake.
They're totally capitalizing on the very fact that RSG doesn't have Jason. He doesn't have that pesky dinosaur roaming around that has those big missiles on his back. And of course, the fact that he can devour people. So with him out of the way, it allows the members of Evos to literally just trample all around and collapse themselves right under the enemy's turret and bring anyone down. But for now, JPL working onto the force ejector. Unfortunately, Ogi shadow kill coming from LY4. LY4 holding his own, still trying to get a kill on JPL. Almost hit. JPL gets himself away. Toss up into the air, and Sayla takes the kill for himself. And on the flip side, Baby Cake takes himself one, tallying things out into a 1-for-1 fashion.
Earliest Winter Truncheon on Potato's Karina gets eaten by the Winter Truncheon, or you would think so, from the Daytona's Welcome, and she pops it off, and Jason is in an awkward position now. He's like, okay,
what do I do now?
I tried LY4, I tried to help you, but there's absolutely nothing they can do. And I think for RSG, they need to try to find a pick-off as a team. We have been seeing them spread it across the map right now, and they need to try to find a pick-off. Lawsy is constantly at the front line. Even if he catches target, there's no follow-up. And look at that once again. Lawsy just isolated the rest of the team. Here comes the backup by LY4!
In the end, it doesn't seem like things are going to be working out well for RFG though. Even though Lawsy did manage to use his Imperial Justice, no one came in for a follow-up as Adamir moves on next with a falling Star Moon. Jason running back, electric final blow right beneath of him, brings him down. Baby Cake, he is next as Baby Cake is just going to be stunned right down to the ground with a lot of spins that will not help him. And Potato going right out, getting kills after kills. A 5-man wipe from RSG.
10 minutes, 7k goal lead, 16-2. It's as perfect as the game that Evos can hope, as they are on championship point, and now they will even take the lot as RSG cannot even make it close past their jungle.
It's match point, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that this best of 7 grand final is about to end. Will it go over to the side of Evos, or will RSG cling on to another ray of light? It's gonna be a really tough call because Evos, they do have the Lord for them.
Well, the Thunder's Wrath has been a cheese pick, or rather the Eudora specifically has been a cheese pick for Evos, but the situation looked right. It looked perfect for RSG right there. Hayabusa, LY4 cut out of nowhere. The Eudora says boom, sends you back to the base, and RSG's efforts are for naught. And now for LY4, how can he help his team? He's not farmed up. RSG doesn't have a tank that's stanky enough to even soak up the damage output from Eudora, and things are definitely looking grim abstract.
It's got no damage at all. It doesn't seem like things are working out for RSG as Evos literally in the face of the opponents just going to go for a toss onto Lawsy. He's going to be walking away, but the bottom lane inhibitor is going to go straight down while the Lord is still very darn healthy. The rest of Evos, they're just moving on in. Adamir, half HP, bringing everyone from RSG back and close to the core. We've got another one down. 2 men down from the side of RSG. They're moving right on. Electric final blow. Baby Cake spinning around. Jason, slip of help. He gets himself away, or maybe not. He's still around. He spits out fire, but it couldn't do quite much as Evos moving all around. The core is almost down, and it will go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Evos actually are your champions of the MPL Singapore Season 2. This has been one hell of a ride, but here it is, back-to-back champions. Damn, it feels good to be an Evos fan.
It is going to be high time for everyone, as the time is nigh for Evos to collect themselves and get themselves that trophy. Boy, oh boy, it has been a long ride. Evos must be really happy. RSG though, I gotta have to say, GG well played. They have shown what they was worth, and once again putting themselves on 2nd place, similar to Season 1.
I love this coming up for both teams. The El Clasico, what other matchup would have been more appropriate? None. This was the pinnacle of the rivalry for these two teams, and I think it's pretty safe to say Evos, 2 championships back to back
Two-time
is
champion.
definitely looking to claim a legacy. They're not even looking for championships anymore. It's about setting a legacy, setting it in stone and saying, we are the best and there's absolutely no way that you can come and take anything away from us.
No one is going to stop Evos from going anywhere as they rejoice themselves and of course rehydrate themselves with a couple of H2O, as you can pretty much see. Well, RSG down and dejected, but I think that throughout this entire season they have done so well, splendidly, and I still have got to say they are one of the top performers here in MPL Singapore Season 2.
You can definitely tell the youngsters of RSG definitely feeling it. They were so close. They put up a tough fight and they even had a fantastic lower brackets, but there was just too much in the way. They ran out of steam, they ran out of ideas, and at the very, very end, they had no more left in the tank. You could see the veterans are feeling slightly disappointed as well, but with this, it's a learning experience for the youngsters. They have been looking super strong in the regular season, but coming here, Evos put them in their place and tells them you will always be second place. But hopefully they can make a better comeback. But just for the last time in this season, let's break down the final game, shall we?
With 12 minutes into the game, or rather sub 12-minute final game from Evos versus RSG, Evos literally left the entire ocean blue, as you can see right here, but understandably a little bit red because they